Hey, welcome to a special episode of Game Dev Weekly. If you're new here, I'm working on Hydroneer, a mining game where you dig for gold and other resources to build massive mining machines. And the reason this video is going to be a little bit different is because I'm going to play Hydroneer for the entire episode. I'm going to talk about points that I want to improve on the game, as well as discuss some of my favourite features of the game. If you want to check out Hydroneer, it's available now on Patreon for a minimum of $2 per month. Alternatively, find the link to the Steam page in the description below and add it to your wishlist. The version of Hydroneer that I'm playing right now is the 0.5.2 patch. This is from the end of October. So if you're watching this video in the future, then maybe take that into consideration. A lot of the features will be different if you're playing it later on. Alright, so let's jump into it and create a new game. And here we are. So this is the starting area. I'm going to start by trying to get a few dollars out of the starting area, and then maybe move to some other areas later on. So I'm just going to fill this bucket first up. Okay, so that's one filled up bucket. If I grab this pan, I'm going to need some water to actually wash the dirt away. Here we are. So one thing that I've noticed quite a lot is whenever you're playing this game, you're always kind of looking down, and there's a lot of brown on the screen. So I'm thinking maybe in the future of finding a way to improve the color palette, because the game actually looks pretty nice when you stop and take a look around. But it's just a problem that I've always had with just always kind of looking down at this dirt. It just doesn't feel right. Alright, so see what we got here. Bit of iron, bit of gold. Get a gem in there as well. I'm a big fan of how, you see how in the bucket there's this green circle? So that shows me where, when I'm placing things down, where they're going to land. I really like that as well. I think I added that in one of the first patches, just because people were complaining about how hard it was to drop things in buckets. Here we go. Alright. So I'm going to quickly just take this to the store. I want to buy a second bucket. Usually that's a good purchase to make in the early game. Alright, here we go. $57. Or pounds. I think maybe what might be a good idea is starting the day off a lot earlier. So right now it's probably, I don't know, but I don't have long until the sun starts to set. So I think I need to improve that a bit more, and maybe have it start off in like the mid-morning instead of it starting off at midday. It's just the tools and equipment store. I'm just going to quickly buy another bucket. So I place it in the purchasing area and then click the purchase button. Alright, so now what we can do is we can fill up the bucket, and I can use one bucket to store all of the resources that I get, and then one bucket to use this dirt. Nice, right. So I've had some comments that it is annoying to just pick up all the pieces once you actually get the pan, especially because sometimes you can accidentally pick up the pan just like this. Instead of actually picking up the pieces, especially in this kind of early level where the pieces are quite a lot smaller. So it's something that I'm thinking about. You know, if I feel like there's a bit of grindiness with picking things up, and is it a good grind or is it a bad grind is really what I'm thinking about. So this is going to be my bucket for my resources. I'm going to grab the torch quick, the lantern. There we go. So I'm not a big fan of how some of this like lighting looks. Like a lot of this grass is kind of a bit too glowy, and also the difference between these two pieces of land, it's quite different. Look at this. Look, this one's kind of glowing and this one isn't. And it's something I need to look into. Obviously, it's a little bit down on the priority list, but it's still something that I'm really Kind of annoys me a little bit. So the way the game works is the deeper that you dig, the better the resources you get. So this parcel of land right here it's a bit of a basic one. It doesn't even go down too deep. So there's a bit of a cap on the resources that you can get. So I think after doing a couple more bucket loads, I might start looking at starting building a base. I think I'll get a bed next as well because I don't want to be digging in this darkness. Can't really see anything. Oh dear. Okay, it's not that far down. There we go. I've left the range quite big on how far you can pick things up, just to make the game a little bit easier. No! I got it. Okay, so you can see I'm starting to get bigger chunks now, and that's just because of the depth that I'm digging is actually quite deep. So I think I'll go and sell this, and then I can buy a bed, and it'll stop being so dark. I'm a really big fan of how these lights look in the evening. I think they look really cool, especially this material that makes it look like it's glowing. I put a lot of work into that. I think they came out great. So this is the rig store. So each one of these pieces can be kind of combined to make one big machine. See, we've got like carriages right here, some rail tracks. This is an engine, fuel tank and controller. And you basically wire everything up together, and then you can use the controller to make everything work. So you've got like drill pieces here, rotors, storage tanks. Okay, so here we are back at the housing store. So the way that store works as well is that if I try and, let's say I want to take this bit of roofing. If I try and remove it from the store, it'll just disappear completely. Until when it's bought, then you can actually take it out. So let's take this bed. Take anything else? Nah, we'll just leave it at the bed. See, there's doors, flooring. And I've kept this stuff relatively cheap as well, so when players actually make houses, it doesn't cost too much to make. Because I think base building is a large part of the game, and it's something that I enjoy. So let's buy this. Great. How about let's actually place the bed right here. Just jump in it. There we go. Right, it's morning now, so it should get light in a little bit. Okay, here we are back at this store. I think what I'm going to do is actually throw some more lanterns in, because you can never have enough lanterns. We'll get a foundation. Yep. One of these. This is a furnace. It's around 99. We still got some spare cash. We'll need one of these as well. I think what would be really nice is when you actually look at these items, instead of it just displaying the price, I think maybe it'd be nicer if they actually talks about a little bit what the item is. A tooltip. Also got fishing if you want to go fishing. That's a cool little mini feature added into the game. It's really fun, really relaxing, and you still make money from it as well because you can sell the fish. Here's all the piping. So I think after this I'm going to start making a nice piped base so we can get some water a bit closer to the operation. So I'm just going to buy these pieces now. And we'll just chuck them all in here. None of these have collisions. You can literally just chuck them all in. I think I might change this in the future when I bring more of these like cart-like items into the game. But right now, I just left it like this. So it's just convenient, easy for the player to use. But not necessarily something that I'm going to keep forever. What I really like is the way that these lanterns turn on and off. Look at this. Look, so... yeah, looks really cool. As the color just fades in and out as well as the light. That's something that I worked quite hard on to make. It just took a while to get it exactly how I wanted it. Alright, here we are. Okay, so let's get this thing out here. I think we want to still be relatively close to the water. Let's go about here. So this here is, it looks like a crate, but it's like a foundation block. So then we can put this on it right there, and then that starts heating up. We'll even put the crucible in there as well, get that thing nice and hot and ready for us. The bed is going to be a bit of a challenge to put down because I don't have another foundation block. We'll just put one of those there. One of these guys over here, I think. So this plot of land right here isn't just this part as well. It's actually over here too. And it is one of my favorite plots. It's obviously like the first one that I made and the first one that a player comes to. And I just kind of wanted this big tower in the background of the castle. And it's obviously quite close to the store as well. So you know what, this bed can stay here because even though it's not placed down like this, you can still use it. So we don't really need to place it down right now. Just leave it right here. Great, so this is the start of our little mining adventure. Okay, so we have encountered our first bug. Because recently I've changed the physics system, it looks like some of the items have actually fallen through the ground. You may remember earlier that I had some items that were lying around here, like the bucket and the pan and everything, and it looks like they've actually fallen through the ground. You can see where the shovel has almost kind of started to clip through as well. So yeah, I'm gonna have to start looking into that and why this is happening. Just throw that in there, just get ourselves some water. So this is a point where I actually need to start improving the water supply system. So what I can do next is have a pipe system that just comes straight out of here. I'll put it on a little tap so I can turn it on and off. And then I'll be able to have water whenever I want. Right, so let's scrub this down. Okay, cool. So we've got a bit of gold in here. So what we're going to do is grab our crucible. I'm going to chuck some of this gold in here. So now this crucible is hot. It's actually going to be a lot quicker to melt the gold. So we've got a little bit of gold in there. Chuck that into the furnace. And this will turn into liquid gold in just a second. There we go. Got some liquid gold. We'll chuck that in there. There we go. We got 1 gold bar. So now this gold bar is going to be worth a little bit more than it would be if it was just a gold ore. So we're going to chuck it in the bucket again. And then put this in here. Right, so I'm going to do a little bit of cheating right here. What I've left in the game is essentially just a gold bar worth a lot of money. And the reason I left it in here was because I wanted a way that if players really wanted to just experiment with the core features of the game, they can just jump straight in and play it. So if you're a patron and you're watching this and you want some free money, then watch closely. I'm just coming over to this bridge over here which leads to the snowy area. And under the bridge right here is this gold bar. Yeah, so that's why it's a bit different. It's worth quite a lot of money. So I'm just going to sell that. This is purely just to save a bit of time so I can show you guys some of how these pipes work and everything. So let's just grab quite a few of these. I think what we can do is grab the cart. Sorry, it's a little bit hard to drive it. So let's get the cart in here. And because it's already paid for, it won't actually cost anything. But we can load up the items in the cart. Grab that in there. Yeah, okay, that's going in just fine. Don't need this T-piece. Take one of those. Alright, so we've got a few of those. Let's get some of these corner pieces. We'll get 3 of these. So this big candy cane looking one is actually where the water comes in. So you need one of these for a pipe system. These right here are for filters. So later on when you have machinery attached to it, you need to purify the water with these filters. And they break over time and you need these spanners to repair them. And then we'll get one of these valves right here up top. And then maybe just a couple more straight pieces. Awesome, right, let's buy that. And let's get out of here. Okay, right, so first this thing goes down. And the building system is pretty easy to use. So obviously you just rotate things with R. And let's put that right there. And now that'll start outputting water like this. Let's grab one of these straight pieces. You can quickly just rapidly build with this, like here. Now we want to have the valve on last, I think, just so we can have it nice and close. Let's have this over here. And cool, we don't need these. And just take this one right here, put that on the end. Right, so now that's stopping everything. So this is still intaking water, it's passing it through here, and then it's stopping right here. So when I need to fill something up, so like let's fill this bucket up with water. It's on a little bit of a ramp, so it might be useful if I put something like this. Just gonna borrow this quick. Right here. Then I got to position the bucket just right. There we go. Right, so there you go. We'll fill up this bucket with water. So this has just been a basic introduction to the first parts of the game. If you guys are enjoying watching me talk about the game as I play it, then let me know and I might do some more of these videos. A big thanks to all my Patreons as usual. Right now we've got 31 patrons, so I really appreciate everyone's support. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.